to the TaxSlayer.com Gator Bowl. They played 1 year ago, 140 miles to the south of here. Today, Georgia and Nebraska meet again in the Sunshine State, kicking off 2014 in Jacksonville. Marshall Morgan has it teed up at the 35. Amir Abdullah and Kenny Bell, both with great speed, are deep for the Huskers. And we are underway from the first coast of Florida. Abdullah from the goal line. Spins out of one tackle, but not a second, taken down at the 18. Anunwa trapped in the backfield, trying to turn the corner and can't. Holy cow, what a shot he took from Quincy Mauger.
I'm not sure that Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, is going to call much down the field here with this rain.
His problem has been with accuracy throwing, but he can sure do this. He's an outstanding runner, and he takes it out across the 40 for the first down. So they get out of a hole after a 24-yard scramble for Tommy Armstrong Jr. Armstrong and overthrows Anunwa, who ran into double coverage. So Nebraska, after some initial success, will have to kick it away. The ankle cost him 3.5 games and cost Georgia valuable positioning. There's a pass that's going to be enough for a first down. Arthur Lynch, the tight end, covered by middle linebacker Michael Rose. Gurley out in the pattern, and they're throwing for him. Get the big guy in space and let him do his thing. Takes it to the Nebraska 40, a gain of 19.
A little strange, though, on 2nd and 7 on the plus side of the field. They had a plan for Bout. It just seemed like a strange play to bring him in on.
3rd and 8 over the middle to Lynch. The tight end again, open in the middle of the field. Down to the 17-yard line. That's his 4th catch here in the first half. He only had 24 for the regular season. Mason flushed. Can't get away, and then that could easily be intentional grounding. He just appeared to throw it at the feet of a Nebraska rusher.
And the officials all getting together, and they're going to call it. Yeah. I liked how they come together. What did you see?
Intentional grounding. Offense. The quarterback was in the pocket, and there were no eligible receivers in the area.
Well, that pretty much covered it all, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did.
Marshall Morgan, first-team All-SEC kicker. 18 out of 20 this year. And he puts his high-powered Georgia offense on the board, finally, with 10:37 to go. Second quarter, Bulldogs up by a field goal. It wouldn't be. The question is, will the Georgia defense be surprised? And they don't do it. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. The ball falls harmlessly, and they brought the house. You see a new quarterback, let's come after him and see how he reacts to it. And Jordan Jenkins, number 59, was coming from his outside linebacker spot, and did they unload on Kellogg?
Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, knew that they could get some edge rush against these hobbled tackles for Nebraska.
Loose ball, still loose. Cornhuskers recover. Reggie Davis bobbled the ball. It's a muff. He never had possession. Lost it at the 14-yard line. Josh Mitchell with the recovery. What a break for Nebraska. Unforced error.
His man right by him. That's right what Abdullah cut underneath.
Boy, did they clear up that left side. For the end zone, Anunwa, touchdown. The official wanted to make sure he had possession, walked over, and then gave us the signal. Nice play-action fake by Tommy Armstrong Jr. on 2nd down and 1. J.J. Green is the deep man as Nebraska takes advantage of the muff punt. Green 3 yards deep. He'll bring it out. Has a seam up the middle, then cuts it to the outside. Green to the 48-yard line. Heck of a return by J.J. Green.
Give us a quick scouting report on Hudson Mason. He's a guy that has sat behind you for 4 years now. You know him pretty well.
Oh, he's tremendous. He's a heck of a ball player, and you know, he's going to be great. He really did a great job of listening to everything I told him, getting the reps when he was able to get the reps. And the biggest thing with Hudson is during the week, he treated Monday through Friday as his game week. You know, he took practice very seriously, and I think that's why he's been able to come in here early on versus Georgia Tech, and in this game and been so successful, you know, his first 2 games.
3rd and 6 for Mason. All day to throw, lost it to the corner and incomplete. Intended for Rhett McGowan, but he got turned around with Ciante Evans in the back corner. So that'll bring on Marshall Morgan, who was already hit from 38. This would be a 28-yard attempt. And he is true again. Marshall Morgan 20 for 22 this season and 15 straight. No wonder he's all conference. Went the wrong way, then came back, and they go to Sethan Carter. Spot the ball at the Georgia 44, 1st and 10. Fake the fly sweep to Turner. Armstrong with all day to throw. Throws late, completes it to Bell. Somehow that ball got through a couple of defenders. Armstrong with good protection. Throws to the corner and bobbled and dropped by Turner. Holy cow, he was wide open, and Armstrong put it right on the numbers. Got to his body, bounced off his chest.
This ball was in the air for a long time. Turner, a guy who they weren't even sure if he was going to be able to play. He's missed the better part of 5 games. And that ball, how many times have we seen that during bowl season where a ball hangs in the air and hangs in the air? Oh, and boy, did Armstrong put that right where it needed to be.
Actually tried to catch it with his hands and pulled it into his body, bounced it off his chest and lost it. Pat Smith will come on to try a 46-yard field goal. That would be his longest of the season. Plenty of distance, and Pat Smith knocks it through. He's only missed once this year, and that was from 48, so both of these place kickers have had outstanding seasons. Hudson Mason brings them out. Gurley is the tailback. They'll send him out in the flat and throw to Gurley.
Well, George,
I'll tell you what, I'd do that about 30 times a game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but if I'm the Nebraska coaches, I'm saying, hey, Rhett McGowan, the receiver to that side, just cleared out the entire side of our defense to get Gurley there. He was running a route, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nebraska coaches complain about a pick, and that really were the difference in that game. None of those so far in this one.
That was the first catch by a Georgia wide receiver who wanted to set up a screen. Couldn't do it. They end up coming back to Michael Bennett. Mason, pressure coming up the middle, throws deep sideline again to his tight end Lynch. Lynch has been very, very active. That ball hung in the air quite a while. I'm sure Lynch is thinking, come on, get here. Green hit almost immediately. Got the ball in his hands, and Jean Baptiste was up from the corner. 3-man rush, swing to Green. Lost his footing, gets back to the 21-yard line.
And now if you're Nebraska, you're going to be sitting here with, I mean, if I am Georgia, I let this go all the way down to 1 second before I call my timeout. And for Nebraska, you're going to go into the half with 3 timeouts in your pocket and no chance to put your offense back on the field.
He's the all-SEC kicker and hooks it just inside the right post. 3 field goals in the first half for Marshall Morgan, and we have a 1-point ball game. The Bulldogs with all their points on Morgan field goals.
For Nebraska.
4-man rush. Mason with a lot of time, throws it right to a defender. Josh Mitchell with the interception. And Mitchell slides in safely at the 38. The 14th interception for that defense. Perfect throw to the sideline to Nunwa. Excellent timing by Armstrong.
Good stop there.
Abdullah. Touchdown. Came in 7th in the country in yards per game, and if you haven't seen him before, you can tell why he is a good one. Because Georgia's so good at it. Mason underneath to Gurley. Fighting for yardage. First down and more. Gurley. Man, you could tell when he took off, it was everything he had. Big play here, 3rd and 5. Gurley swings out. Instead, they throw to the tight end, Lynch. They have used Gurley running to the flat and Lynch running underneath patterns so beautifully in this game. Another big 3rd down. Mason with time, floats it to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Bennett. And they will have to send the field goal unit on again. At some point, the Bulldogs are going to have to crack the goal line if they want to win this game. At what yard line that might have crossed. And they give them a couple of yards here and there. If you got the ball within 3 inches of the 10-yard line, I don't know how you make that call for intentional grounding.
I agree. And you would have
the crowd exhorting Georgia's defense for a stop here. Ball's loose. That is so close to a safety. It looks like they're going to mark it just outside the goal line. And they want to throw. What a play call. Anunwa. He's going to go 99 yards. Holy cow, what a call.
There is a flag down on the 42-yard line, and the guys on the sideline for Nebraska, the left side, are actually kicking the flag off the field. They've got to be careful here. There is a flag down on the Nebraska sideline, 42 left side. Yeah. So the flag was for excessive celebration. It's a celebration warning on Nebraska, not anything. I was thinking maybe Anunwa had stepped out of bounds and had not established himself back in the field of play to be the first to touch it.
You'd hate to see that one come back. Yeah. That was such a courageous play call.
Have an offense that can win games.
Pressure coming. The ball's thrown underneath and intercepted by Shaq Wiggins. His 2nd interception of the season and a poor throw by Tommy Armstrong Jr. Mason under pressure, lost the ball. And very fortunate that it fell just behind him. He turned around and covered it.
Still with 2 timeouts and their coach's challenge.
Mason with time, floats it to Gurley. And Gurley will walk in. 25-yard touchdown pass. And how does Gurley get away from everybody?
With routes down the field.
4-man rush. The pass wide of Anunwa.
If you're Nebraska, with those 2 timeouts, you cannot let them tick this clock down and get the touchdown.
Down the middle, Conley makes the catch, takes a shot and holds on. He was drilled by Cooper. Big time catch, big time throw by Mason, a gain of 29. This is do or die.
Yeah,
Either stop him or don't.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Gurley again, room to run, and just caught by the ankles by Corey Cooper, who may have just saved the game. They'll send him out over the middle. They're trying to check him down. The pass over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Lynch, the tight end, and it's broken up. Nebraska will take over on downs. Should have caught that ball. Boy, that was a good throw by Mason, wasn't it?
And it's unfortunately for Arthur Lynch, the senior tight end, the second ball that he's dropped. Remember the drive before, he also had a drop. Just took his eye off it for a second. Santos was trailing, but was not close enough to knock that ball away. And if that's a clean catch, I'm not sure Arthur Lynch doesn't run into the end zone.
Just turned his head just before the ball got there, looking to see what was standing between him and the goal line.
You look at what Bo Pelini and this staff has been able to do with these injuries on their offensive line and losing a 4-year starting quarterback that is explosive as Taylor Martinez. To get 9 wins out of this season, that's a darn good coaching job.
You know, when I heard that Bo Pelini had said, if they want to fire me, go ahead and do it, I assumed it was said in anger. Then when I actually saw the soundbite and it wasn't, it was very reasoned, I saw it very differently. And I tell you what, he's got this program headed in the right direction. They have never lost more than 4 games under Bo Pelini in his tenure. They are in a division that they should be able to contend in the Big Ten West year in and year out. I think they're in a pretty good situation. An exciting ball game this afternoon between Georgia and Nebraska. They have played in bowl games 2 years in a row. I want to thank everybody on the crew for an exceptional year, especially my partner Ed Cunningham. It was just a great joy to work with you.
Thank you, Mike.
We have just had a ball all year long. Once again, our final score: Nebraska 24, Georgia 19. Coming up next, it's Sports Center. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good afternoon from Jacksonville, Florida.